So hey everyone, how's it going? As you can see here, I am currently a level 100 Druid, and I've been using a very basic, well-known build, as known as the Earth Pulverized build. It's very strong, very tanky, and helps me obviously push to 100. But obviously now I'm ready to try and play with other builds. And one of the processes I do to actually make these builds is just start with looking at the items. So Diablo 4 does really well in making things synergize well and doesn't make it too complicated. As you can see here, there are a lot of options based on things that you see that you can apply to each other. So something like, for example, a landslide buff, right? Landslide is an earth skill. You can definitely buff that as well. And on the right side, for the Crash Stone Choker for my amulet, you can see that earth skills deal extra damage. So something like that, you take landslide, you would stack that with earth damage and increase your damage, and continue to do that with your other items. Now, obviously in this build, everything does work really well together. It's very earth focused as well as werebear, and does a lot of good damage. But I'm going to go over how I look at the upgrading process for items and how I decide how to put together a build with a bunch of aspects that I might have gotten. Alright, so we're going to see what kind of rolls we can get on these storm weapons. And dude, look at this. I just rolled this. Okay, first of all, let's look at this great staff of the crone. As you can see here, we got +4 ranks of claw. Up to 6, which is really cool. Probably a ton of damage. And frick, I want to take this out. But this one was stronger power, and I rolled it, and look at that. +9 ranks of claw. That is amazing. Non-physical damage. Claw is physical, I think, so that's meh. But, we're going to mix other stuff in there, so it's going to work. Obviously, this is not stuff we can change. Damage to crowd control enemies, so let's poison and slow them. That's definitely going to work. Damage to close, they're all going to be slowed. Yeah, and damage to crowd control enemies again. So this is really good. Definitely really excited to try that. We also have this Tempest Roar, and we have these Temerity and Storm's Companion. So let's just upgrade them now, see what we get. So let's start with Tempest Roar. Alright, let's start with this Temerity. It's not the best. It's 790 item power, but it's not horrible. Upgrading that. Let's see, +109. I'm going to see if I can change the roll on this. All stat, healing received. Not the best. And the roll is really bad. Only 48% of my max life, but it'd be cool to try out. And lastly, these uniques, pretty low. I'm just going to pop them. One more. And look at that movement speed for companions. That's pretty cool. The potion drop rate is pretty lame, but +4 ranks of wolves is pretty awesome. Gonna definitely have some strong wolves. And yeah, that's cool. And maybe some Mad Wolf's Glee. Our best one here is 802 item power. Compare these two. So this one is +11 armor, a little more physical, more poison, and pretty much everything. Just movement speed that is less high, which I would not prioritize at this point. This 801 here though, that is 10% movement speed, so that one is really good. More physical damage, less poison damage, but that's okay. I think physical is better on this. And damage reduction as well is also really good. So this 801 is actually my best one here. And then this one here is 758, which is not that great. I accidentally upgraded it. Oh wow, this is +8. Oh no, it's because I upgraded it. So let's upgrade this, see what we get. 801, and I'm just gonna pop it all the way. And now we have that. So here is what we have. And all of these other ones are obviously downgrades now. Except for poison damage, which is okay. So, now, what was the other comparison here? So this is the one. And here's our upgraded one. Way better. Very nice. Look at that. Perfect movement speed. Man, this werewolf build is going to be really fun, really fast. Alright, so we have this. We got this. I'm going to add sockets. And we have this Tempest Roar. Okay, so let's just throw this guy in. Let's just see each level what it does. So as you can see here, we get just an extra % and some spirit, which is awesome. Max spirit is really good. Let's keep going. Another +2, another %, another % +2. This is great. Let's keep going. Okay, so no new rolls. It's only going to be around 800 and, what is that? Around 821 item power. Not horrible, but that 18% isn't the best, but not bad. So there we go. That's also maxed out. That would go part of this build, and that is really interesting. Temerity. We also have Storm's Companion, so this is going to be for our werewolf build with companions. Now, obviously, we can't stack that with Temerity. Temerity would be cool, but maybe it's not needed. We're going to try both as different builds, and here are the unique options we're going to use for these builds. So, either these 4, or these 4. We also have. There we go. Let me wear them all. Do. Let's get out here. So I still have high attack power, which is nice, and I have high armor. So for example, obviously I have a pretty decent weapon currently, but let's see, we got more attack speed, we get a little bit more DPS technically, but as you can see here, the attack damage goes down quite a bit. But let's just see how much damage the claw does now. So now we're going to go to claw, just 9 out of 5, just like that, 5,000 damage. Obviously pulverize does a crap ton more, but it works very differently, and the attack speed difference is going to be insane. So let's, out of curiosity, and then throw that in our thing. Boom. 8800. Pretty excited to try that out. So 14 is not bad. Let's put that, Mad Wolves, and this guy. That sounds sick, dude. So plus 17. Have you ever seen 17 ranks in a skill, dude? That is awesome. Obviously, it is a basic skill, so slightly weaker than 17 points in one of these. I had 12, which is obviously really good, but that's really awesome. And it should hit pretty good. I'm hoping it's really good. 17 skill, 17 points. That's just cool to see. It's not as much damage as I was hoping. I'd like to see a little more, but this is high tag and no spirit issues. Not to mention, you're also gonna have this maxed out as well. You know, with this build, and you're gonna have, you know, plus another 5,000 damage here. So that's over 12,000, which was actually more than what we had there. Yeah. So yeah, that is around 22,000. But it's going to be a lot. This one's a lot slower as well. So that stacked damage is going to be just insane. We're always going to stack immobilize, or, you know, hit more targets for more DPS, and immobilize and vulnerable on that storm strike, which is the main effect of using the great staff of the crone. Super awesome build. Definitely going to try that out. I'm going to have a lot of fun. And the storm strike does almost 150% damage. Tons of damage from this attack. Awesome. So stay tuned. A video with these builds are going to come out very soon. So I'm going to go over an end game build of the Tempest Roar build. Obviously, we're going to also be getting Storm's Werewolf bonuses on those Storm skills. It's just perfect. You're also always going to be granting 4 Spirit. The only issue is the amulet. There's actually something called the Melted Heart of the Salig, and that is an amazing amulet. It actually gives you extra maximum resource, and when you take damage, instead of losing health, you lose resource. So that way, you would constantly be tanking, and you'd constantly be able to attack with your basic skills and gain that resource back. You should never lose health, actually. But the problem is that amulet is very rare, hard to get, and I haven't got it yet. I don't know anyone who has. Maybe it's one of those very rare items, similar to the Harlequin crest, like that helmet, or Grandfather for the Barbarian. So we'll see how it goes. If we can get it, that'd be great, but we don't need to use it for this build. Obviously, it would just be a great modifier. So we're going to test out the build and see how we do. So that's pretty much how I would do some theory crafting on certain builds. It's very easy to look at aspects that you have and be able to combine them. As you can see here, we have Storm and Werewolf mentioned on this helmet, and it's a unique. Obviously, it's a powerful one. Here we have a Storm skill and a Claw. Those are both werewolves. They literally go together perfectly. And here you'll get Werewolf. You get, you're always Werewolf, which actually means you can buff Werewolf skills, such as, you know, extra defense as a Werewolf. Here we get 2 ranks for all Werewolf skills. Both of these are going to be all Werewolf skills. Very good. And then here, if you're healing, if you get something like this, for example, now Grizzly Rage will turn you into a Werewolf. So then you get 25% more movement speed, and you will get 50% spirit cost reduction. So obviously, we're not really going to use spirit cost reduction in this, so the damage reduction is quite nice to have in the other sense. But in addition, now kills heal for 10% of your max life. So if you get a kill, stack it with Temerity, you're going to be getting a free barrier instantly up to 48% of your max life, which is going to be pretty awesome. 50% of currently what I have is around 12,000. So another 6,000 barrier that will just stay up as long as you're getting kills. So obviously, it's not perfect for bosses, but we will be stacking on other ways to heal, which will make sure that works out perfectly. Now you have to also think, I'm going to be using werewolf skills a lot, standing in one place and clawing. So something like this, dealing 10% increased damage for each second you stand still, that could be pretty useful. You know, if you have to kite a lot, then, you know, you can always wear something else. But we will be poisoning with something like that, and you can add something like this to add damaging poison to a werebear skill. So you can do some basic attacks, and then every so often you drop a werebear skill just to instantly pop it, and then you go ahead and apply the poisoning again with the werewolf skill. So there's a lot of options here. This one would obviously mean poison and werebear isn't needed. There are other aspects like this unique ring, Hunter's Zenith. This ring is perfect for shapeshifting builds. As you can see here, there's damage while shapeshifted, and then bonuses for werewolf and werebear skills, and ranks with the quick shift passive, and then an extra bonus there as well. So non-ultimate werebear costs no resource and has no cooldown. So that's really good because you're going to be attacking a werewolf, and then maybe you switch to a werebear skill, which will also heal you, and then you go back to werewolf. So it's perfect because that werebear skill isn't going to cost any resource on that ability. So you could pop it to consume the poisoning and then go back to your werewolf spamming. That's really awesome. A nice ring that goes with this build. Then obviously you see werewolf, you can add 15% damage reduction while shapeshifted into a werewolf. That's really great. And crit strikes with Shred, which is a werewolf ability, will deal extra damage as lightning to the target and surrounding enemies. So obviously if you're somehow mixing a core skill with the basic skill, this one here is more specific for not using this weapon, of course, because you'll be using a core skill, because Claw is a basic skill and Shred is a core skill. However, if you never got the uniques, which may be harder to get, this would be a great use of using those skills and makes it a lot easier to create that build. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. Hope that helped, and hopefully you get these drops and have a chance to play with these fun builds and try different things, because there are a ton of options and a ton of synergies and just a great variety when you want to play, I feel, especially as a druid. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.